On this episode of Content Sessions, we talk to Mike Wills about making huge career shifts and where art comes from. Another episode of Content Sessions. Got Mike Wills, painter, artist,
Yeah.
fancy pants,
Yeah.
fancy jeans.
Yeah. Colorful jeans. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for coming.
No, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. We got connected through Instagram.
Yep.
Because your art is very cool.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk to you. So
Yeah.
tell me about your story.
Yeah. So I was a professional hockey player beforehand, and due to injuries, I had to kind of just like let that dream go. I was aspiring to be an NHL player. I made it pretty close, and then the concussions came into play, and I had to figure out my new identity in life, and it became into painting, which I always had the ability to do that. And so now I'm generating, to be a professional painter. So in Toronto.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How is you made it up to what, like for the hockey side?
It was the Southern Professional League in East Coast, and then over in Europe. So yeah,
Crazy.
Played a couple of years there, and now my world flipped, and now I'm here. Right?
Yeah.
So
And how did that transition like lead into? Does that speak through your art a little bit? It feels like that'd be like I know a guy who same kind of idea. I don't think he got as far, but the trauma of having to let it go.
Yeah, it's like you almost like paint through your pain a little bit. So like the grieving process I'm only 2 years, out of it, so it's fairly still new. So like the grieving process, there's days where it hits you, and so like you find that you need another release, and like that's art for me. So like you actually have to go to work every day and go, you know what, this is what I'm meant to do. So sometimes doors shut on you, and you gotta just keep pushing that way. So
it's a different path in
Yeah.
a lot of art.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
Yeah.
So where did you learn to paint? Where you just kind of did it a lot as a kid? Did you take lessons?
Yeah, I did it a lot in high school, and then I was on a hockey scholarship down the States, and I developed it through Oswego State College, so our university, sorry. And so they pretty much helped me become a better artist, get the technical aspect. But then after that, like when I played pro down in Georgia, I had my own exhibition. So when I was playing hockey, I was also doing art as well. So it was kind of best of both worlds. So
Interesting. And was the school that you went to, was that like a formal training, or was like
it's
that
formal
was like
training.
an art school?
Yeah. So I have a degree in art and graphic design as well. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And it's very, very colorful.
Yeah, thanks.
Art.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell me about that. Is that a byproduct of cheering up, or is that?
Yeah. So battling through the concussions, you go through a lot of like depression, suicidal, emotions that way. So I also had like pucks to the face, punches, concussions. My eyes started to deteriorate, so I was going blind. And then after I had cross-linking surgery, it's called, just last August, and I'm starting to see new colors, like more vibrancy, like just a whole new world to me. So it's very colorful, which is pretty cool. Yeah. And so like I wanted to paint that and really like tell people like, this is because of like all these injuries. Like now I'm on the other side. Yeah. I get to paint it and kind of show you. So yeah.
Very nice. And so where does the style of painting come from? What's does it come from someone that you've liked their art, or just kind of like?
Yeah, there's a lot of influences like Jose Parla and J.M. Roberts. And then like I've always wanted to get to Toronto. Like that was one of my goals since I was like a kid. So when I was painting like cityscapes, I got here, and then it was like, what do I need to do to push that? And so like walking around Toronto, you see all like the graffiti and like this like unfinished, raw, rugged look that Toronto has especially the west side. So I kind of wanted to illustrate that through my painting as well. So to actually bring that out. Yeah.
Where are you from then?
I'm actually originally from Oakwood, Ontario it's called. So about 900 people. It's in the Kawartha Lakes.
Okay.
Yeah, near Lindsay.
Sure,
so, yeah, nobody knows where it is. It's a small farming community. But, yeah, that's young, country kid.
Yeah,
goes to the city. Yeah, has that dream.
Yeah, listen, I grew up in Oakville, which was a lot bigger than that, but still was like, no, I gotta go to Toronto.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a super inspiring place. I know, like, for our line of work, it's necessary anyway.
Absolutely.
But I think often about where else could go, and I'm like, other than another like big interesting city, I don't think I'd want to be there.
Yeah.
So.
Us creatives, we always want to like be in that surround, like in that atmosphere. So like you want to be somewhere that's like vibing all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So.
I do have a fear actually about being in the suburbs for an extended period. Like I find if my parents are in town. Yeah. Sorry, Mom. Getting involved in this one. Like the idea of like, oh shit, that's like a homeless person. They're gonna get up and murder me. Yeah. Like it scares me that if you were to spend so much time away from like real life, like you know what I mean? Yeah. It would start to freak you out. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be freaked out by anything. Right. So you kind of want to like, be in the mix of a bit of a shitstorm here and there. So you're like, oh, not normalized, but you know what I mean? Like, so you're not terrified of every little thing. So, sorry, Mom. And so, where's your space now? Are you in a condo? Are you in a work?
It's kind of like like an old house, like an old Victorian house, and so like I'm working in there as well, like living as well. So it's in the Rothnally area, which is just north of Yorkville, but no one's really heard of this little area. It's very like hidden. It's pretty cool.
And so you've got what, like a couple floors, or just like one art room?
Just one art room. I share it with a couple of roommates. So it's just starting out. So it's like this is the first step to possibly getting in an actual studio and like an actual like good space, and then go from there, right?
But I'll tell you from experience with starting a couple other businesses, you're here now and you're like, no, but I need the fancy place. Yeah. But the time that you're here is the fucking most fun. Yeah. Like that crazy grinding. Like,
I'm starting. The year one, I was like, why it's so small. I was complaining about everything, and like now I'm like, space is amazing. Like I have light. I have like, just the ability to create. Yeah. So like some people just don't have that. Yeah. So
absolutely. Well, especially with trying to find a place in Toronto that's affordable or is bigger than 310 square feet.
Yeah. Right? Exactly. Then you got to move to the suburbs, right? Like,
don't do it. Cool. And so take me through, so about 2 years now into the painting journey as a full-time gig. And you had been in some galleries before, so you've got a little bit of experience in the industry. Yeah. What's your like primary like business right now? Is it selling paintings? Is it just trying to build as much brand as you can? Is it gallery stuff? Like tell me.
I think it's I'd like to say a bit of both. Like I'd really want like obviously sales, right, to make money and pay the bills and like better yourself that way, but I do want to get more exposure, and through social media is great, but you really have to put the groundwork in and pound the pavement to actually get into some galleries, because that's where they host events, people talk, and then you spitfire from there. So like that's where I want to. As much as I want to sell, I'd rather be known as like, Michael Wills, the artist in Toronto, right? So, because then with that it generates more like more. I feel like a passion or like a vibrancy for people to be like, let's go to his next show.
Sure. So, and you can sell your shit for more then.
Exactly.
Which doesn't suck.
Yeah.
And so how many total have you done? Like what are
how many galleries? I've done like 3 or 4 in 2 years, which is really cool. So I've been trying to go to like the next level in galleries. And then, bunch of rejections, which is great because, that makes you more hungry as an artist. Or any person as an athlete, musician, you name it, right? Rejection is actually a good thing because it will either fight or flight. Like you want to be like, hey, I need to screw you guys. I'm going to go be better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, and I've talked to, not that many people through the show, but, through my consulting and the business, we've worked with several hundred people and businesses.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, one unique thing about being either an entrepreneur or an athlete is that you've been through some shit.
Yeah.
And like the little things, it's easier to get past the little things because you've already had the shit kicked out of you, kicked out of team. I'm sure, you know what I mean? Like you've already experienced it at that, like this is my life and you're knocking me down level. So now like the little things are just like, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
It should be fine.
Yeah.
Let those call 10 more people, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So I find like the rejection's really good to be like, okay, well, I'm not ready yet. And I will be there soon.
Yeah.
You know?
And so what's the best and what's the worst part of the gallery stuff? Like you're obviously, when you're there, you're hoping to build brand, build a following, sell a couple pieces. Yeah. So what's been your what's been your learnings through the first couple?
Definitely you want like to work well with the curators, because sometimes even in the contracts, it says like, you know, you're allowed to have this space. I've actually had a space where I didn't get it. Like, so there was another artist in and he pulled the plug on the contract saying like, yeah, we can't have your art on the walls anymore. And it was like, well, I paid for the space. We did this months in advance.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting my stuff in here. Like, so you kind of had to, you know, fight tooth and nail kind of that way. But, I think with just the good things that have come of it is working with event planners and other people that are actually like really good at marketing and advertising. They'll actually push your brand a bit more to bring more people in. Yeah. Hey, buddy. So, yeah, like I find like just because you're an artist, you can be the best artist in the world, but it's how to sell yourself too and market your branding. And so you need a couple, like a team almost, to like help you get a bigger event that way.
Yeah. So. Interesting. And so to get in them now, are you just manually like hand-to-hand combat?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Pretty much. Yeah. Walking in, talking to them, being really personable, seeing if they have any availability or would they like to take me on. Most don't want to because it's just another artist. They kind of select who they want. So I find it discouraging a little bit, but they're like, you know what makes me different from that person? So I just got to push harder and just keep working.
Is it one of the criterias that, so we've been finding with like, even with like charities, like, hey, we want to get on this website or do this thing. And one thing that they're getting pushback on, it seems to be industry, like every industry, is that they're like, oh, cool. How many followers do you have on Instagram?
Yes.
Is that playing into your
Absolutely.
shit as well?
Yeah. So as much as, you know, you're as good as or talented, they're like, oh, like what's your Instagram? They don't even go to your websites anymore. So websites are almost dead, where it's like, what's your Facebook and what's your Instagram page? So like having those followers is great, and you know, posting content every day is as much as it's exhausting to me. It's just like, you have to do it in order to gain interest and gain followers and likes for people to actually see your stuff. So they look at your Instagram, they're like, oh, it's really cool, we'll talk to you in a bit, but you know,
get past 50K.
Yeah, exactly. So
and so right now you're at 14K. How long has it taken to get there? Like, what's been your process? Have you
the cool thing was with hockey, like I've had like a lot of fans stay in contact with me for that way as well. And then I traveled to a lot of cities, and you just connect with a lot of different people. And then as soon as art was taken off and coming to Toronto, that's when it started to hit. Like people are starting to notice, like, oh, like this is the next up and coming artist. He'll be really good. And just it's getting your stuff out there. As much as you're doing the prep work in your studio, it's literally trying to put your stuff in every single spot. So, because you never know who's gonna like come into that coffee shop or, you know, just that store even to see your stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the strategy is pretty much the same as the galleries. You're just finding the places that make sense for your shit.
Yeah.
Knock.
Yeah.
Knock.
So
one strategy, and I actually sent you your first message via voice.
Yeah.
So here's my assumption about it, because unlike a DM, you can't see when it's seen.
Yep.
It's just like, it just goes out and it just sits there and there's no like little mark underneath.
Right.
But I was reaching out to people anywhere from 500 followers to like 100K. And my response rate was like 75% of people got back, because they could, it's easy to just like see it and be like, oh, someone else is reaching out about some shit, okay, whatever. So one suggestion I was going to say, and I'm kind of telling everyone to do this, is if you're reaching out online in that way, do it via voice, because then you know that someone will spend the time to listen to it. Because to me, I think there's like a psychological thing when you don't know what's in the message yet. You're like, is it going to be funny? Is this guy fucking weird? Like, what's going to happen? I don't know.
Exactly.
It's like a mystery, right? You start playing it, and then, oh, cool. And then it's like more personal. It's your voice. So if you're doing it that way, like to kind of scale your reach out. Yeah. Because we kind of go with whatever the tide is, right? It used to be, either cold call by phone or by email or whatever. Now, over a period of 6 years, it's really social heavy. Yeah. And so we've been doing it. Okay. We've been doing it. Yeah,
that's great.
With like a vocal reach out. Hey guys, love for you to check out my page. Looking for a place to go. Yeah. And it might not work as much for the galleries, because they're more like. Yeah. But I think if you're trying to get into any other type of space, like a retail environment or whatever, like
the one place I'm in right now called Out There Toronto, across in Yorkville, across from Four Seasons, they said like, I actually liked their like fashion clothing. It's all women's stuff, and he's like, then he started liking my photos, and I was like, hey man, like love your stuff, like keep going. And he was like, dude, like come into the store. We got to talk about some things. So next thing you know, I'm in his window, and I've generated a couple like inquiries and a couple paintings through that. So it's just connecting with people. Like,
for sure. Yeah. One strategy that we use a lot is, especially when you're trying to get the attention of person A, is to go through their followers. Okay. And sometimes they're following, but mostly they're followers, and interact with those, liking and commenting on the posts that their followers are putting out as well. We've found, and I don't know when or if this will ever end, but it makes it easier for some of your posts to go into the discovery feed of the person you want to see it. Gotcha. So as much as you can go like a couple of their things, it's like, how much are you going to pound on them? But if you're liking and commenting on their followers' stuff, then you might start popping up in their discovery, as in terms of actually them seeing a picture in their discovery.
Okay. Then psychologically, they're like, oh, there's that guy again.
There's that guy again. So I think that's a cool way to do it. We have you can do it manually. Depends on how much time you have. Right. We actually use a girl down in Florida, and we give her all the parameters, and then they set it up in a way that it automates it a little bit. Yeah. So it's personalized, but it's not like us doing it hand to hand. And just for like
saves time, right? For you to do
huge amount of time. Yeah. And so we're trying not to do it where it's like just spam everybody. Yeah. But go like 2 pictures of each of the followers of this, or under this hashtag, or whatever the thing is. Right. Right. And it just like gets your account interacting at scale. And even if you just say, go like 200 things a day, saves you a lot of time. Yeah. And it will bring the discoverability of your portfolio.
Yeah. When you're posting, like, I know you use hashtags, like how many hashtags and like what hashtags are you going to use?
Yeah. So good question. Really depends. It's really ever changing. Yeah. I went through yours. I think you're on the right track with most of it. Yeah. So what I would do is, we always make 3 categories. Yeah. So if we're doing a training, right, what we do is say, what are your 3 content pillars? What are your categories? So it's I paint stuff, whatever's inspiring me, and then maybe like what's going on, just like lifestyle, right? And I think if you split those up, the hashtags that you're going to use for each category are going to be different with a little bit of crossover. Yeah. And so there's some software that you can use that will take a look at like stuff that's highly engaged, because you used to be that you wanted to use like really niche, really specific ones, and now Instagram like I think in February or sometime in the last couple of months, they've kind of tweaked it again. So we're just going after the mass ones, like hashtag art, hashtag and then so I would say art based stuff, I would say city based stuff, and then I would even fuck with music based stuff.
Yeah.
Or like anything that has like some kind of an association.
Because my content is women in color and like fashion, so like those are the genres I'm trying to like market to as well. So like
so what I would do for the hashtag thing is have 6 pools in total. Yeah. So 2 under each category. Yeah. So fashion, 2 of them. Yeah. Art, 2 of them. Yeah. And then you'll want it to have like maybe the top 5 to 10 be the same. Yeah. And then the last 10 to 15 be of variance, so you can test. It's good to test. Yeah. And then you can kind of see like you'll see like a spike right off the beginning, especially when you have 20 to 25 hashtags. Right. There is an argument coming from some people that using more than 5 is not great. Yeah. To me, I use no more than 5 in the post. Yes. And then dump the rest into the comments. Yeah. Some people will argue it looks tacky. My argument is I don't give a fuck. Yeah. If it's gonna bring more eyeballs, it's just a tactic.
That's what I thought too.
And the people that are saying, and we get that argument. Oh well, I don't want to make it look like it's a marketing thing, but it is a marketing thing. If you're trying to get attention to you or a product or a brand, it's marketing. Yeah. So. And nobody really cares. Yeah. So I would use the max is 30. Right. We usually use about 20 to 25. Okay. But we will measure them every like 60 days. Yeah. To say, hey, this pool versus this pool in each category, so it needs to and then you kind of mix. Yeah. Unfortunately, Instagram doesn't have the best insight tool. I mean, it gives you some. You have a business page, right? Yeah. So you can go and see insights for each post, but it really doesn't break down in a really meaningful way. Yeah. You can use some software. We use one called Social Insider, and you can scan your own profile, and you can say based on the hashtags that you use, it'll show you like a pool of like most who's used, seeing, and it will give you some deeper insights. It's a little expensive, but even if you use it even if you like buy it for a month, use it and then get rid of it, and then like 4 months later buy it for another month, and then you can kind of use it that way to do like an overall health. Right. Scan the last 3 or 4 months. So I do recommend it's socialinsider.io, I believe it is. Okay. Really super simple, super intuitive, but it'll give you some ideas in terms of like what's working, what's not. I mean, the unfortunate thing with Instagram is like when they change shit and they decide this is important and that's not. Exactly. You're at the mercy anyway. Yeah. So it's kind of
because I'm finding it like hard to generate more traffic towards my stuff, only just because I'm an artist, but it's like I feel like I'm posting at the wrong time, or even my stuff is not being seen as much as other people. So I wanted to find almost like a loophole to find get that.
So I have a couple thoughts on
without paying tons of money for things. Yeah.
So I think 2 things. I think you should be running a boost, like an ad. Yeah. I'll be clear. There's a boost, so you're in the platform and it's like, hey, do you want to boost this post? You should never do that. Okay. Most people do because it's simple and it's easy
straight
to do.
To the point.
You should create
a promotion.
You should create it you should create an actual ad account. Yeah. So business.facebook.com. Okay. You bring your page in there and you create an ad account. Yeah. The reason you do that, especially in art, and I'll send you the blog post. I actually detail exactly how to do this. Okay. But Facebook and Instagram has the ability to find more people that are similar to some audience. Yeah. And the more defined that audience is, the easier they can find more people. Yeah. So what you'll do is you'll say, pool my Instagram followers or people that are interacting with my posts on Instagram and find me more people like them. Okay. And I don't know how to explain how that actually works. I just know that it does. So when you're doing a boost, you want to target it at the people that look like my existing audience. Right. And that will bring you tremendous return. Instead of just like, because right now you can do interest based, right? So other artists, people that like painting, people that like galleries, people that like specific brands, and that's okay. Yeah. But the people that are the most similar to your followers is going to have a huge impact on
that makes sense.
An improvement. So, and there's an article on our site, on the social media site, that shows you like how to set up the ad account, how to create the audience step by step. Right. And so when you're going to do a boost, I would do it based on that. Gotcha. Because when you create it just on platform, it doesn't give you the same targeting capabilities. Right. You'll get a bunch of people, but it'll just be whoever it's going to go in front of. Okay. And for the, if you're going to boost something for $5 or $10, it's better to optimize the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Because, you're spending money to get eyeballs. So
that's right. Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Yeah, because with painting, it's like $1,000 to $5,000. It's like not a lot of people have that in their pocket, right? So that would make sense. Is like, how can I generate something that's a little bit inexpensive or less expensive than do that as well.
From the reach side, so I was looking through your profile. Yeah. Pictures and photography is very tight. Yeah. Super good.
Thanks.
So a couple things I would vary. A couple things I would split up. So I saw that about 60% or 70% of the posts were tagged in Toronto. Yeah. How often do you get a ping being like, "Hey, you're in the Toronto story"? Do you get that ever? People from the story?
Yeah.
Seeing it?
They see it. Yeah. They see a lot of it. Like it's like a Toronto story. There's like 40 people or 90 people viewing it or whatever. Response. Yeah.
I would tinker with stuff that's not so.
Like New York City or.
No, you don't want to lie. Yeah. But I would say like, even like trendy restaurants in the area.
Oh, okay.
It's sneaky. And here's the thing. If you do it and it's like you're bombarding it and you're like really being fraudulent about it, people will start getting annoyed. Right. But I would say every once in a while, like one in every like switch 10 posts. Yeah, switch that in. Yeah. I think the way that you've got the hashtag structured, you're doing it fairly well. Thanks. And then you've got in the comments, you've got the other hashtags. Yeah. Right now I saw that you add the lines or the dots. Yeah. When they're in the comments, you don't need to bother doing it. Oh, okay. You can just put them as the comments. Because that strategy was more when it used to all be in the post. Yeah. And you wanted to hide it from the first bit of reach. Yeah. So you can get rid of the dots. Okay. Save a bit of time there. Yeah. So I would do that. The other thing from a content perspective is, and it still has to be on brand. And I know we work with some people in hip hop and different pop music and stuff, and there's always the argument of like, no, but it has to be on brand. And I get it. Yeah. But posting some content about people's opinion or trying to gauge a reaction or whatever will help. And you don't have to do it often. Again, maybe 1 in every 8 posts. Yeah. But interacting and asking a question because you do have a good engagement rate now. Yeah. It's above average. Yeah. So I think if you were to say, you had 2 posts, hey, comment with which one you like more, or do the plus or the smiley depending on which one you like, things like that, or like just asking open-ended stuff, right? Like anything that encourages people to comment. They like to feel involved, especially when a brand is being like, I want your opinion, or I want to hear from you. So one thing, the comments or the post captions that you're using are good, and they feel like soulful and whatever. But I think splashing in a little bit of stuff to like ask for engagement would be really practical.
I usually try to like get people to name my art because I'm like, I'm not really good with words. I'm like, all right, well, you guys name it. I'm not. Like, and maybe they connect with it because they're naming it, right? And they're like, oh, I might buy it. Yeah. So okay, that makes sense.
Add a little bit more of the stuff that's forcing a question. Hey, what do you think? And you can do that. Do you do that a lot in your stories? I've just been.
I used to. Now I've strayed away from it for a couple months, but I should get back into it. Like, hey guys, what do you think? Like, do you like the yellow one? Do you like the blue one better? Like, let's see.
Yeah, and so from the stories perspective, not using it, not a lot, but sometimes the poll, sometimes the little fire thing. People like doing it, and a high frequency of people. And with the stories, I see that you do it every day. Yeah. And you do a couple posts every day, and the content's really, really good. Thank you. So I don't have many additional things. What I would say is if you can try and set up a camera and film periods of time a little bit more, that would be really practical.
Right, like almost like a time lapse of me painting.
Time lapse, or even like as meta kind of behind the scenes as you can possibly get. Right. So maybe you were doing something and the canvas is here and this is like whatever but it has to be real. But whatever something behind the scenes of like some of your preparation. Or like color mixing sequences, or just little types of things like that people really interact with.
Actually, I'm just starting that recently. So my friend Tyler, he works with one of the most famous like YouTuber for video and photography, Maddie. I forget his last name. But he flies all around the world, and he just does like all these like cool shots of like everything, and he pretty much breaks everything down on YouTube what to do. So Tyler was working with him, and he wants to kind of generate like with my content, just more personal stuff like that. Like you said, like actually get a camera, mix paint, splatter it on, like tell people like, you know, like through like a personal blogs thing, like, hey, now I'm going to be painting this, like stay tuned kind of thing. Yeah. So I think that would be helpful within Instagram as well.
For sure. And then the other thing I was thinking about is going into like schools, like a Sheridan, where they do digital marketing and content creation, like in terms of photography and videography and that type of stuff. I would actually reach out to them. We've done it in the past with a couple things, but like be like, hey, I would love to come do a painting in the space, and like reach out to some of the teachers and some of the faculty and say, hey, would you guys like to follow me around with the video camera for a day or two and shoot different things and do photography and create some blog content and those types of things. And you could actually like, because from an educational perspective, then it's real hands-on, they can touch. And then it's, for you, it works out to be free content, free stuff. And I think there's a good, valuable trade-off. One thing, you know, with the idea of like unpaid interns stuff, I've never been like comfortable with it. It just, I wouldn't do it. Not to say I wouldn't do anything for free. I believe in that if it's like the driving thing. But in terms of like forcing it on people, I'm not big on that. But when there's a value exchange to that level, don't discount how much you can give by just having people come and be involved in what you're doing. You know, there's a lot there. So I think you could use that for creating content. Also, you should go live in the middle of painting.
I've done that before, and I've only generated like 1 or 2 people at the meantime. But after, I think people watch it. So it's
worthwhile.
It's worthwhile, but it's weird because like as I'm doing the live, there's not a lot of like people watching at that time because I might be doing it 3 a.m, 3 p.m. People are sleeping or at work, like so. But after watching it, it's like, oh, like they actually did see that I painted.
And I think, so what I would do is strategize a little bit more with it. So if you go into the insights on your phone, it'll show like when you're kind of best. And actually the Social Insider thing is actually a really good tool for that. But my best advice for it is if you were to plan something at like Sunday at like 8 or 9 p.m. That's by far the highest level of engagement for anything that we do. For selling, for anything. Because it's like
everyone's winding down.
I put the kids to bed.
At the TV.
I'm at the TV, but during commercials I'm doing other shit. So if you were to say like, go even just do like a 20-minute segment Sunday at like 8 p.m. You'll get eyeballs. And then you can leverage that even more if you've got somebody with a good size following that likes you or whatever. So in Instagram, people can request to join your story, right? So when you do that, we've done this with some artists, it then tags all of their, because when you go live, it hits everyone being like, hey, they're going live. So the same, if you post something, nobody gets notifications unless they subscribe to get a notification. With live, it still, for some reason, pops up on everybody's screen. You see it, right? So if you were to do that, go live and then find some friends or some people that love, you know, that support you, to then request that they join yours. They come on, then their followers say, oh shit, he's on live with this Mike guy. Who the fuck is this guy? And then he brings 1,000 people. And then they see you, and then
coming, right? That's
been a really interesting strategy for song releases and for stuff like that. But that could really help bring some new eyeballs and for free. It's just for you sitting around painting. So which is great.
Well, thank you.
So I think those, from the organic side, that's probably the best things that I would play with. Just switching up the location a little. Creating some content that's a little bit more engagement based. Because what happens too is, if you are asking something and people are they're in it, the most interaction you get in the first kind of hour or so will dictate who else is going to see it, how it's going to rank on the under the hashtag ones as well. So if you get stuff that come out with a bang, then it'll really expedite it and put it into more discoverability stuff. So I think those are the things. But I think from the visual standpoint and the best practices standpoint, I think you're right on track. The only kind of other passing thought is there's going to be accounts that they don't have any of their own content. All they do is they aggregate based on other people's shit. I would find those.
Yeah.
So like for the artists, like from the music side, we tag like hot vocals and at rap, whatever, with the right type of content, because that gives them, tags them, and then they might pop on and be like, oh yeah, we will use this. This is a great thing. Right. So the way we kind of think about that is tagging them in it, but kind of moving it to the bottom right corner, so it's unobtrusive. And then tag another one, move them up, and you can stack the tags. And just fucking tag a shitload of them. Not all the time, but if it's like a unique, a finished piece, it's cool art, and it's then the right channels, then that's a great way for you to give them content. And some of them will reach out being like, cool, pay me and I'll put it up. And some will just be like, oh shit, this is great, thank you so much, and whatever.
Absolutely, there's one musician I like. I think Snoop Dogg is bringing him up. His October the King is his Instagram hold, but October is his first name. It's pretty sick. So he's just like moody blues, like soul music, and so like just started liking his stuff. He started liking mine, and we reached out like, hey man, like love your stuff, and I want to maybe do a painting to make do a connection that way, and see if you can post like your painting with me, with you, and something like that. Like, King in Portland like socks. It's kind of funny. Like everyone's like, yeah, you should be a model. And I was like, so I ended up being a sock model for them. So it was kind of funny. But what else? Rebels Refinery. It's a Toronto-based male products like for your hair, beards, and stuff like that. So,
but what about you reaching out to influencers for your stuff?
Like I've tried to do that. Like there's been a lot of like people just they see it and they don't even reply. So it was like, oh, okay, maybe this is not the right.
It's not the right amount of asks.
Okay. So ask more then?
I would say for every, what's the realistic number? So I would say for the amount that you have to reach out to get if I send you a piece of art, will you do a post? Is probably one in every 500? 750,000?
Right.
So how do you how do you do that, right?
Because that would just like generate a lot of time though. I'd have to like almost double my hours in working just to like get paintings to them. Like, wow.
It's a lot. But you can cheat it. So one thing that you can do, we just signed up for, I'll give you guys a shout out because you're fucking geniuses. There's a company called Gen M. I just spoke with the founder out of Ottawa. So they have this platform where it's students looking for experience, unpaid. And the way that Gen M runs their business is that it's like $47 a month for credit. So it's like $150 and you get a 3-month internship.
That's pretty cool.
And you get 10 hours a week from the student. So you end up with 40 hours a month, right? But it's all unpaid. And you can, anything that's biz development or creating graphics or any of that type of stuff.
They'll do it.
And so, especially because you've got a bit of a name, a bit of a brand, you've got, you've got a presence. It'd be an exciting thing. Like, hey, you got to find the right people to reach out to.
Absolutely.
And then you got to actually reach out to them. And so what I would say is if you were to be able to get that and say, hey, you're going to do all this shit fucking work because it's brutal to do. But I think if you threw in some mentorship or some other piece, it would be worthwhile for somebody. You'd find somebody that would find it be worth it. So the platform, you log in and you can find people who are looking for certain skill sets, who know how to use certain things, and then you interview them and then they come on. Right now we're interviewing for 4 spots. So we pay like $200 a month. But to us, it makes a ton of sense for there's just so much stuff that could be done. Like even if you're creating long form video of just a couple cameras set up, to be able to send that out to somebody and
like, hey, can you edit this for me?
That kind of stuff, right? Where it's outbound money that it's to build brand, but it's still outbound money that you're never expecting to see $1 back from. So if you had that avenue, might be really good for the reach out thing. If you had a certain, we actually got a blog post for everything, of course. We actually have a blog post on like how we do all of our influencer campaigns with like the script of like how to reach out without putting too much content and like really good best practices for how to actually do that. But I think if you found the right person that liked your shit, that had 85, 100,000, 50,000 followers, the impact of that, of them having their shit on your wall would be tremendous. It's just finding the time and how do you actually scale. So you can do it through that, or you can do it through, you could do it through software. So the same company that does the reaches, you can do it via DM.
What do you think about restaurants? Like actually getting into restaurants, like even though it's really hard, like I feel like contacting them and be like, hey man, like can I have my shit in your and like
I think what I would do with that. So the big challenge is the more personality you put behind it, the better response rate you get. So how do you do that? So maybe if you have somebody that's like, hey, get me the Instagram handle at every restaurant. And how I do it is I sit with a microphone in my hand and I go on Instagram, and then I have a list on my notepad and I click on it, it pops up Instagram into their thing. And then hey guys, would really like to talk to you about this. I think it'd be a great opportunity. And then I go back to my list, click it, pops up, send a message. And then if you were to just say like, even if you had a good sized list, which will take time to build, or you have someone build it, and then you spent half an hour a day, you should be able to reach out to 50 to 75 restaurants in a day if you did it for 30 straight, just hard minutes.
That's pretty easy.
And then do it by voice, so you're not copy and pasting, and then it's got the personal touch and it makes them want to open it. That's how I would do it. And I think with the restaurant style thing, because it's like, hey, I'm in Toronto, I think doing the voice thing would be good, and then having it getting stuff out there.
I just rather have my stuff more in like a traffic area, like a high traffic area. Restaurants, retail stores, and like because galleries, like they don't. Like during the day, nobody comes in, right? Everyone's at work, blah 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 blah. But they do a ton of work themselves to get them sold. But it's again like I'd rather be seen a little bit more. And then generate like an interest in Toronto.
Like, and only because I'm seeing this guy next week. An interesting idea, like doctors, dentists, physiotherapists, the people that traditionally have boring ass fucking shit. I would call them. I don't think anybody's calling them, and that's high traffic. That's a lot of fucking people going in. I bet you could there's some like sneaky contacts there,
to get
dentists and because then it's again art. But I don't think that's something that I'm just thinking about doctors' offices and stuff. I don't think they get a lot to calls for that kind of thing. That might actually be a unique. I didn't even
chiropractors.
I didn't even plan that shit. That just came up. But that'd be interesting. And then so what I would do is you can go the intern route. The other thing you can do is have you heard of Upwork?
No.
It's kind of like Fiverr. But it's like it's the next level. It's like more professional. But you get professionals in countries where $5 an hour is like huge. Right. So like India and this type of thing. So you can post a job on there and then say, hey, I'm looking to compile a list of Instagram handles for every dentist in the city and every physio and every this and every that. And then you kind of say like, hey, I'm going to allocate this many hours at whatever an hour, and they'll come back with like a big Excel spreadsheet of that. And you can do it through that. That's how we've done some list building in the past.
No, that's great.
That might be a cool way to do it. And then again, I think it's literally just with the little microphone on your thing and be like, hey guys. And I think compared to a restaurant or a retail space where they get a lot of inbound inquiries, I bet you they'd all be like, I'm so flattered to have that.
Doctors and
but I would do it to everybody, retail and but I would find a way to make it feasible for you to do. Because if it's like this daunting thing, it's like very hard to jump into. So if you're like, if I had a big list and I could just do it by voice and it was 20 seconds per person, you can like map out how you could reach out to 5,000 people in 2 months. And then even if you get 1%, you're in 50 places. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's just how do you reach out that way. So
now you got me thinking. So
that'll happen. But
that's cool.
But I think the advantage again I think you have is you've got a following, you've got art, you've got content. I talked to a lot of people who are in very infant stage, and it's like, well, I also need to actually have something that people care about.
Right.
So when you have something and you've got experience in galleries and you can, there's a bit of prestige there, I think it'll be an easier yes for you, which is nice.
Thanks. Yeah. Just takes time, right? The grind work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's an interesting place to play.
Yeah, well, thanks for the advice.
And then from the ad side, I think just from a overall following and engagement side, I would, it doesn't have to be every post, but if you can afford to put $5 to $10 behind your better stuff, or even like if you say at 1 out of every 10, like my really premium stuff, 30, 40, $50, I would create so in the Facebook ad manager, you say, here's my audience, here's the people that follow me, find more people like those people, and then just target them, North America or Canada wide, probably North America wide. Canada's kind of a weird audience to go after. You'll like, if I find, especially for like purchasing, it's really easy to sell, more easy to sell in the US than it is in Canada. Like if they like something, they're just
they could buy it. Like I found that too. Like when I was at a gallery in Miami, like they were just like, there's a lot of like inquiries about your stuff, and like they like it, so they're willing to buy it. Or here, it's like you need a purpose behind your art. Like what, like are you like saving the trees or people? Or like they want a standpoint on your art. And
sometimes it's just
like a story, and you're just like, I painted it because I liked it, and so if you like it, buy it. Like helps me out to have that, not that starving artist mentality.
Yeah, for sure. And then, do you ever put the paintings as a product on Instagram? Have you ever done that before?
Like putting like available, this dimensions, this price.
No, like you can actually like. So let's take a step back. The website. I think I went on to super quick. Can you buy anything on it?
I'm working with a team right now to actually like generate like you can buy
e-commerce.
through Visa.
Got it. And are you doing that on Shopify?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So when you create your Shopify store, and even while they're developing it, you don't need a storefront right now to do what I'm talking about.
Right.
So when you have Shopify, you can integrate that directly into Instagram.
Oh, really?
And
so go to my link.
The way that works is you can tag, so you've got a photo, you can tag a product on it.
Okay.
And so if I'm discovering your post, it has like a little shopping cart icon in the post. I don't know if you've ever seen that. And even when it's in discovery mode, you'd see like the little shopping. So when I'm on it and I click it once, the product thing pops up.
Right.
And if you have Shopify, you can actually like have them buy it right through
there
that. And when you're doing it via social, people could be coming in from anywhere.
Right.
It's easier because there's going to be, it just has to stumble across the right person.
Right.
And so right now, if I see your stuff, I like you, I don't know if that product's available unless you do a post saying, hey, you can come buy this from me.
Right.
The problem with that is, and a lot of people make this mistake, is they make every fucking post, yo, I have this thing available for sale, come buy it. And they're like, fuck, stop selling me shit all the time. And you do a good, like your balance is perfectly fine, but I think when they don't know, you cause the friction of, okay, so now I don't know if it's available. I maybe don't know what it's called.
Right.
And then I got to go to the website, and if I can't buy it on the website, and I don't really want to reach it, like I'm already out. It's already too much work.
Right. Okay.
But I think we could do every, again, you don't want to do it every post. But if you've got something available, have it integrate from Shopify. And so Instagram, you can actually check out directly on Instagram now. They've just launched that. Okay. So I go and it's like, do you want to check out an Instagram with Apple Pay? Done. Transaction complete. The current setup, just before that, it was go see the product on the website, so it pops into your Shopify store, and it comes like on the product page. So it's like add it to your cart, you go check out. So you don't even really need a storefront to actually do that. It will just
click and you're done.
Now, if they click off of that to go find other shit and there's nothing there, it's kind of weird. So you might have the home button just be the collection of all the paintings. Unless they're going to build out something in full. But if you're working with someone, they'll probably have a good strategy for that. But I think being able to tag some of the available stuff, then having that be the stuff that you spend ad spend behind. Right? Because like someone coming and seeing a video, great. But someone going and seeing a cool picture that they can also shop on, if it's hitting people that are likely to like your art, and then
that makes sense.
You can layer onto that, and that could actually be the thing that generates a lot of sales.
Now I need to sit down with you again and go over this and be like, hey, let's do this. But that'd be cool.
But the Instagram purchase thing is people. It depends on the age group,
right?
But I'm finding more and more people want to just they see something and
they like it and then
they like it and I just want to like click it and it's there and I go buy it.
Yeah.
And if not, you can when they click it, they can see the price and they can have an idea if it's in the range. Yeah. And that can kind of prevent some of the inquiries that aren't gonna.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, is this thing $40?
Yeah.
Like, no, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. It's. It's close to 3,000. They're like, oh, that's what my price range. I'm like, well, what do you expect? Like, it's art. Like, it's, you know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and that's always a struggle.
Yeah, I get a ton of hagglers. Like, they just like try to barter me down. It's like, come on. Like, would I barter you down if you're a real estate agent for 50% of like a house? Yeah. Absolutely not. You wouldn't take that deal. Right. Like, why are you doing that to me?
Yeah, you guys have starving artists. That's a real fucking thing.
It is. Like, it's like, well, do I eat this week or, you know? So it's funny, but it's such a wild life, but it's so enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, and I think you're on the right track. If you're looking at, if the followership, it seems to have a good flow. It seems new people coming in. Yeah. I think promoting some of the content to just give that an extra lift, right? If your average post gets 3,000 impressions, and you can spend $50 and put that at 10,000 instead. Yeah. Great. If you have short video, 15-second video, you'll get the most bang for your buck in terms of eyeballs versus a picture. Yeah. So there's a trade-off. Yeah. When you do it with a picture, and this is the strategy that's in the blog, so go through exactly how we do it. Yeah. But if it's a picture, you're going to get more actual engagements, likes, comments, shares. If it's a video, you're going to get quadruple the eyeballs, but a third of the engagement. Right. Unless it's like that magic piece and it blows up. Right. But on average, you're going to... you'll want to balance the two. Because with a piece of video, sometimes... I'd rather have 20,000 eyeballs on it than 5,000 because just more people, right? But if it doesn't get as much engagement, you still want to drive engagement. So I would do a mix of about 50-50 of promoting pictures and promoting videos.
Yeah, okay.
But the pictures that you do promote, especially if it's like a really cool piece and you've got a bit of you do a write-up like here's where this came from, put the shoppable on that because then you're getting 5,000 people to see it and it's shoppable. Right. So just that scale of people for $40 is crazy compared to how many fucking doors you have to knock on, right? So that you can scale a shit out of that.
That's cool.
So I think layering the shopping with the boosting, that's going to be a really happy place for you to play. Okay. That'll really work.
All right. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really insightful.
Lots of stuff.
I'm
going to send you the.
You're going to have to give me. Yeah, you're literally going to have to like send me an email, the breakdown of each thing we talked about. I'm like, all right, I got to do this now. Right.
Yeah. Did any other thoughts? Any other questions?
No. That was mainly it. I'm like, how to generate more traffic through Instagram because websites are. I don't even get that anymore. Like it's everything's through Instagram. Like direct message me, like, hey, like how much is this? How much is it for a custom piece? So I don't even like that is my main hub, and then probably Facebook's a close second. But I rarely get emails stating like, hey, saw your site. Yeah. And
one other thing I wanted to touch on just because we talked about it right before. Jeans.
Yes, so exactly. I don't know if I want to stand up. Can I stand up for this? Yeah. But I've got my paint jeans on. I don't know if you can see that.
So we're talking about 4 days of painting to get them that fucked up. Yeah. Which is good. Yeah. So I think, and I think this will work really well. I think you should sell those. Yeah. Because I think they're all one of a kind. They're all unique. Yeah. You can do them through the same portal, through the Instagram. Hey, do you want to buy? And so what you could do is in a given picture, be like, here's the finished piece. Yeah. When they see the little shopping cart, they're like, oh, it's going to be the painting that's the shopping cart. No, it's the jeans. That are the shop. So they just like put the little thing on your leg, right? Yeah. I think that's a unique.
Even sign them,
Sign them, sign them. And I think you could, if the paintings are 2,000 or 3,000, and then these are 200 or 300, it's a good entry level product for someone. Yeah. It's a unique product as well. Like you could frame them, you can make them look really cool. So I think all the same strategies,
Yep.
but with the jeans.
Yep.
I think that's a really fun.
That is fun.
A fun way to just get yourself out there.
Yeah, thanks for the idea.
Yeah. And actually, if these are quicker and cheaper than sending a painting to someone as an influencer, maybe you reach out and be like, yo, I've got these crazy jeans. They're all one of a kind design. They're like an art piece.
Yeah.
Maybe you send those out to someone that's willing to post on their channel.
Right.
Because that's actually sometimes more interesting than a canvas.
Yeah.
It's
because it's functional too, right? Like
functional, yeah. I think it's just it's a unique spin. I just haven't seen it, and I think diving in with that as a strategy might.
There you go. Have created something.
Created a project. Jeans. I'll be waiting for mine.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks so much for coming by.
Appreciate it.
I think that's a great spot to leave off. And then, I'd love to catch up down the line after
absolutely.
you've kind of implemented and played. And can, do it again.
Go from there. All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Did you have fun?